Hello, and welcome to a quick overview of t-tests. What is a t-test? A t-test is a hypothesis testing tool used to determine if there is a significant difference between the means of two groups. In other words, are the differences between the two groups meaningful, or is it more likely that they happened by chance? The significance is a result of the size of the difference between the means of the two groups, the standard deviations, and the size of the sample. Essentially, a t-test compares your sample means to the null hypothesis condition. A t-test is an inferential statistic. This means that with a t-test, we can generalize information from the sample to the population. It assumes that data follows a normal distribution and that the variances of the two groups of data are equal. And finally, it is used to analyze one or two sample means. If more than two groups are being considered, an analysis of variance would be used. The t-test will help you arrive at a t-score. So the t-score is a ratio, and it looks at the difference between two groups and the difference within a group. A large t-score tells you that the groups are different, while a small t-score tells you that the groups are similar. Connected to the t-score is the p-value, which is the probability that the results happen by chance. It's expressed as a decimal, and low p-values are good. P-values that are less than or equal to 0.05 means that the data is valid. Now we'll talk about some different types of t-tests. First, a paired sample. This tests the mean of one group at two different times. A paired sample might compare spending habits of a group at two different times of the year. In a one sample, there's only one group. The mean is tested against a pre-specified value. Past data indicates the average weight of a one-year-old baby, and a one-sample t-test could be used to compare the weights of a sample of one-year-olds from a particular city to that of the pre-specified data. In an independent sample, a drug trial could be a good example. Results of a sample of patients given a drug could be compared to a sample of patients given a placebo. There are a few options available to perform the necessary calculations to complete a t-test. You can use the software SPSS, Microsoft Excel, and a variety of available online calculators. The t-test is a very common tool for analyzing data. In the study, The Effectiveness of Excellence Scamp, researchers used a pre- and post-test to determine the effectiveness of a math program on a participant's math problem-solving skills. They performed a paired sample t-test by testing the same sample group of students before and after exposure to the lessons offered in the camp. The group was made up of 70 students who had previously failed a pre-calculus course. The results of the t-test confirmed that the camp had a positive impact on the problem-solving ability of the participants. There was a statistically significant difference between the mean scores of the pre- and post-tests.